Yep, I'm talking about the hit era again. Like, how many goddamn times have I covered the hit era at this point? It almost makes it seem like it's one of the good eras, but it's not. In fact, I still consider it a mixed bag at best. But that's neither here nor there. We all know the gist of this by now. It bought out Ghislaine in 2002, and they changed a lot of things, like a new theme song, new composer, new writing style, yeah, we all know what happened. But alongside that, we also got some new characters, which most of them appeared in one episode where they're established, make a few cameos afterwards, and then just cease to exist afterwards. But that's not to say there are quite a few that are quite interesting. Like eventual mainstays Whiff and Stanley, who along with Rosie and Rocky from season 10, made the jump to CGI. And even some of the ones that didn't make it to the CGI era, like Mighty Mac and Hector. But there are some that aren't all that special. Or in a certain someone's case, absolutely rotten to the core. But, like any mediocre character, there is potential for them to be a genuinely good character if written well, or just tweaked a bit to make them more interesting. And today, we will be looking at one of them, in a similar style to my Meggy video I did a couple of years ago. And that character is Molly. Molly is a character that sure does exist. And that's all I can say about it. Molly first made her debut in the season 9 episode, Molly's Special. God, that title is so babyish. But anyway, in this episode, Thomas wants to help Molly make her train of empty trucks feel important. Only for it to not, and her empty trucks are important, yeah, you get the picture. Coming out to this episode on rewatch, it honestly left me with nothing to say. It's not a terrible episode by any means. In fact, I'd say it's one of the more above average episodes of season 9. It's definitely better than Scarlet the Brave by a long shot. But I do appreciate certain aspects of it on this rewatch. Michelangelo's narration was alright. Not great, but solid. And I do appreciate how this is one of the few hidden hitter episodes where Thomas isn't written as a moron. I do appreciate that he is trying to help a fellow engine out in some way. Okay, taking the lines from Maron was a bit of a left field move, but whatever, at least he asked someone. But at the same time, I feel like that's the main issue I have with this episode, and come to think of it, most of the new character stories in the hit era. It's that they're not really focused on the new character introduced in that episode. Instead, it's usually a main character like Thomas, like here. Sure, there were a few hidden within that did it well, like Hector the Horrid and Emily's Rubbish, which, ironically enough, both came from the same season. But, for the most part, that was all they did. Like seriously, the only episode to properly focus on the new character is Mighty Mac. And that was literally it. And because they're focused on the main character, we don't get a proper chance to know about these new characters. In depth anyway. Again, there were a few exceptions, but it was just played very safe. Hit even said themselves that a new character was just made for the sake of toys. And that was that. But enough about that. Molly in this episode is... yeah, she's kind of bland. In this, she wants to feel special, and that's it. And after that, she made a few small cameos across seasons 9 through 11, with her final appearance being in The Great Discovery. And that was it. Yeah, I can kind of see why Hit, or Mattel by extension, never even bothered to bring her back in CGI. Hell, Mattel even introduced Rebecca in season 22, another yellow female standard gauge engine with almost a similar, if not better, persona than Molly. But, and I do mean but, that's not to say that none of these hit era characters that never returned have potential. Because, as asked in the title of this video, does Molly have potential? Why? Yes, she does. Let me explain. So as of right now, even after rewatching her debut episode, Molly doesn't really have that much going for her personality-wise. Even after giving her the spotlight in my movie after, I was just sat there looking back on it thinking, why did I even bother trying with her? Not that I had fun making it with Damien on hand, but just a food for thought. So, what would I do if I were to bring Molly back, either in the CGI series, or even the upcoming 2026 series? Well, I'll tell you. First off, I would give Molly a place on Sodor outside of pulling trucks to the coaling plant. Like, maybe we could see her pulling coaches, since I don't think we've ever seen her pulling coaches before. Maybe she could help Ryan out on the Harwick branch line one day while Daisy's someplace else. Or heck, maybe we could see her helping another fellow engine out with pulling a goods train somewhere, like, say, Vickerstown. There's so many opportunities for what to do with her in the series. And plus, it'd be a great opportunity for her to interact with the side characters instead of just the main cast. Next, I would give Molly a bit more of a personal development in the series, since, as of right now, she is kinda bland like I said. So, here's what I would do for her, personality-wise. In my take on Molly, she is eager to try out something new outside of pulling trucks, but at the same time, she would also get a bit anxious when meeting new faces. So, she would have anxiety in this regard. You could still have her being shy and feeling sad about not feeling as important as, say, Gordon, but give her more growth and development instead of just being a new character made just for the merchandise. And, finally, since she's gonna return the next time we see her, it'll be in CGI. At least I hope it will. And we gotta provide a good VA for her that captures what I just said about her. And I feel like there's only one person, one big English celebrity that I feel would be a great casting choice for her, akin to Olivia Colman and Hugh Bonneville as examples. Enter former EastEnders star Shona Bugatti. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a bit of a secret. I have a bit of a soft spot for Shona. Honestly, this was another Mercy Girl situation where, going into I'm a Celeb 2025, I didn't even know diddly squat about her. But like the aforementioned, I grew to love her as time went on in the camp, mainly because she has anxiety like me. And given this scene in Molly's debut episode where she runs away in shame, it had me thinking. And, given that I'm reworking Molly to have anxiety, might as well put two and two together, right? Probably the only time where I would link a character with a VA choice. Plus, you have to keep in mind that, if Shona was casted, keep in mind that she would be voicing in one of the biggest children's TV shows ever. Probably even more than when she was in EastEnders, being honest. In fact, Shona is the main reason why I did this video in the first place. So you can thank her for that. And there we have it. I have fully reworked Molly in my own take. So that way, she'd be a much more interesting character than what Hit did with her. And, you know what? I think I'm proud with what I did with her. A new and more interesting personality, a new role on Sodor, and most especially, a new VA. Pretty impressive, don't you think? Wow! I did not think I'd have this much to say about Molly here. But, here we are now. The Becky video I did 2 years ago took off really well. And ever since that, I've been thinking of who to do one of these videos with. And what better way to do another one of these one-hit wonder type videos than with one of the Hit era characters that isn't really well developed. In fact, another video like this one is on the way. What about a character that has gotten quite a bit of hate lately for some reason. So I'm going to be coming in hard, giving out my defense on the guy. Or vehicle, because he's... Oh, you'll see once it happens. Let me know how you guys feel about Shona being my idea VA for Molly. Do you think it was a great pick? Or do you think there was a better pick? For me, I think it was a great pick. And this video wouldn't have been possible if she didn't head into the jungle last year. So, thank you, Shona. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date and to not miss out on the newest content. Until next time, bye guys.